Hello, everybody. We are here with the Diaz brothers. Ready to check out Magic Cop once again and also take a look at their new project, The Lost Pages. You guys want to say hello to the crowd?
Hey, old chat. What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Everyone.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having us, Red.
Absolutely. My pleasure. So Magic Cop is still in demand, correct?
Yeah, we're wrapping up on the interiors of it. Brandon has like 14 more pages to do for the last chapter. And you guys got to remember it's 4 chapters. So I did extend the book a little bit, so it's 92 pages now to get some awesome action in on the back end for an awesome conclusion. So yeah, Brandon's hard at work, working on that. And the past few days I've been putting the book together to kind of like read through and edit the first few chapters.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah. So is this kind of the goal you were expecting or hoping for?
I don't know, because going into it, our first time ever crowdfunding anything, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
When we started, we were new to CG and, like I said, new to crowdfunding. So it's like we'll use this as a base for the things we do in the future, and that's exactly what we're doing. And I think along the way, gaining the fans that we have in CG, it's been awesome, and still getting those pushes is super important. Like we've had a bunch of our friends in Comicsgate have lent their art talents to make these sweet sketch cards for us, which has been working out really well, giving us awesome pushes. Right now we had Vic King do 3 sketch cards for us, and those sold out in like 3 days. Passion for Drawing did 4 of them, and there's still 3 left right now. So you guys could get that with the book, or if you guys already backed, you could purchase its own tier for a Passion for Drawing sketch card, and that is totally free shipping. So we'll just throw it in there with your book. So it's been an awesome experience, and it's just feeding our motivation to keep doing it. Bring out more books. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't know. In my opinion, I think anybody who gets funded is successful.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, for first-time creators, the goal was really to just kind of put yourself out there and get to know people.
And like you look at crowdfunding from just like 3 or 4 years ago, and like this is amazing. Like the goal that we hit, and it's awesome because Comicsgate has just raised the bar. Everybody being so successful and getting books over 10 grand is amazing, and now it's like this rising tide, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that $1,000 to $2,000 was considered wildly successful for some of these things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So no, we're super happy about it. And at this point, the more money we make now is just the more awesome things we're going to be able to give to all the backers. Brandon and I have been talking about doing like full-size posters, maybe, because we just realized that we could print on canvas material, which is super easily foldable and doesn't leave any creases or anything. So we're looking into that. So we're still looking to add some more things as long as we can get more backers.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Speaking of very cool, this right here is my very first super chat. Thank you, Optimus Deadpool. He says this thing been popped yet? If so, there's 5, brother. Congrats on the 1K subs. Thank you, my man.
Awesome, man.
Appreciate
congrats,
that.
Red.
Thank you. I'm just going to go back and say hello to the chat. Apollo Patriot was here early as usual. He's always wanting them Walmart girls. But it's not every stream. Sorry, man. Mortal Thinker's here. What's up, my friend? Love that guy. Rot 10 Glory's in the house also. He says Magic Cop didn't really grab him, but he's really liking what he's seeing with Lost Pages. So hopefully, everything's not for everybody, right?
Yeah, I mean,
oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that's the whole point of us doing the comics as a company. My brother and I is showing the different styles and genres that we can put out as comic creators. Like this is like Magic Cop. We know it's very unique and niche, and people haven't seen anything in comics like this before. So it's going to be a harder sell, and we're going to have to work a lot harder to get it out there. Whereas something like the stuff we're going to be looking at later in the Lost Pages, more superhero driven, art styles that people are more familiar with. And that's what we want to bring, those different aspects, flexing our different, style and genre muscles
Right.
to show what we can bring to the Comicsgate.
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty much what I was going to say. I think that it's kind of, Magic Cop is different. I think that, for some people it might be a little uncomfortable because it's so different than like a mainstream superhero comic book. You might not know what you're going to get into with kind of like cop drama comic book,
Right.
So
but there's magic on top of it though.
Yeah. I completely understand it. It could be a hard sell for somebody who doesn't get or doesn't get the message conveyed to them properly, I think. But, we put it out there, it's doing really, really well. And, if there's any interest in it, yeah, definitely pick it up. But, that being said, I think that the Lost Pages is going to do really, really well because it is so vigilante, and very relatable to what people like. People really like that dark, gritty stuff that came out, from the 80s. And the Lost Pages really fits into that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to talk about this.
Yeah.
Neela Possessed is in the house. What's up? Mogwai Centurion's here. He says, "Hail, brothers. How's it going, my friend?"
Hail.
Ted Lehman's in the house. Love the new intro. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Peter Charon, what's up, my friend? El Gargoyle is in the house as always. Appreciate you guys. There's a lot of familiar faces in here.
Oh, yeah.
Got a few people that stop by pretty much every time, and I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, El Gargoyle's always commenting on our videos on our YouTube channel. So hail El Gargoyle.
Yeah, for sure. Bianca Fights the Zombies is here. Says, lick that love button.
Whoa.
please do.
Okay.
Oni64 is in the house. What's up? Awesome. And what about is here? That dog looks so smooth.
Yeah, Grey Wolf. He's awesome. Brandon drew kind of like the dramatic climax of his like story arc in the book, where you get to see what happened to him that kind of gives him this state of perpetual wolfness. So he is a wolf man, and something happens to him, kind of brings him out of his job. He doesn't really want to be there anymore. He's on the verge of retirement, and that's where we are when we meet him at the beginning. And then our Magic Cop, Iggy, he learns what happened to Grey Wolf and why he's like this. And it's kind of like you get that buddy cop aspect to it, that Riggs and Murtaugh feel, pulling from a lot of 80s influences here and trying to make this book as badass as possible.
Awesome, man. Well, speaking of smooth, we got Lola in the house. What's up, Lola?
Oh.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Lola. How's it going? I figured you didn't want to be on the stream with us because I was picking my nose too much the other night.
Oh, no. I got to be here to tell you to stop.
Somebody has to keep you in line. It's not going to be me because I don't care.
Keep me in check.
Yeah, man. So if you haven't backed Magic Cop yet, take a look at it. I don't bother putting links in the description beforehand anymore because it always erases them when the stream's over. So I'll put them up afterwards. Sure. Actually, I'll throw this in the chat right now.
I didn't know that. I got to check my streams now.
Yeah, it does that to me. I don't know if it does it to everybody, but yeah, like every single stream, it just, everything I write in there's gone. So I just don't even bother anymore.
Yeah, if you go, what's up?
I was going to say, Phil's always putting up some new pages and cool stuff on the campaign. So you know, if you want to see some new cool art or like colored pages that maybe we had up in there in black and white, there's always
Yeah,
new
this
stuff.
page is new. That's kind of like the intro to our bad guy, Bone Daddy-O.
Yeah.
Kind of like a horror-esque panel. Really tried to go over the top with the page layout on this one, kind of like making the panels skewed to give you that creepy feeling, and that last panel there where you barely see that he's like the skeleton guy, and then when you turn the page, it's like you fully see him for the first time in the book.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the way that's set up. I was going to say, I don't recall seeing this page since I've looked at your campaign.
Yeah, that one's a newer one. Since we started, I to streamline things, I've been doing like the page layouts in Photoshop and then giving them to Brandon, and he'll go off the script to draw them out. So I've been kind of having some fun with the panel layouts and such.
That's an interesting layout for a panel.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, he likes, you know, we try to convey a lot of messages with, you know, the panel layout. Like here on this page, this is a flashback. And so on here, we're kind of doing like that old VHS tracking blowout of color is wrong on here. It's got a lot of tracking lines and scanning problems and stuff. But we're trying to do a lot of cool, unique things with the pages and the panel layout, like the previous page. Kind of the panels are a little askew to create an uneasiness of the character that we're following at that moment, kind of being in there with that darkened boss character. So he's, even though he works with him, you know, there's always something unsettling about being in the room with him in there. So that we're establishing that, you know, it's a classic comic book tool that could be used. And then, you know, with the page below, something a little bit different, a little new. We were talking about originally doing something where, you know, like you're going to do flashbacks or something, might be like a sepia tone if you're going to go really far back, or like a black and white. We're thinking about doing desaturated color tones. But here, messing around in Photoshop, I was messing around and, you know, thought about throwing off the RGB and kind of separating the colors a little bit, just to kind of give it a weird chromatic aberration look, and then put in those scan lines. And then Phil went in and did all that stuff in post-production, and it turned out awesome.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I like that. Have you tried looking at that with 3D glasses?
No.
I know you could do that. I have a comic that actually has that. It's a comic by Eric Powell. It's called The Hillbilly. And there's like a dream sequence where it's all in like 3D and you have to wear 3D glasses for it.
Can't imagine.
I'm digging it though. It's like, this is really like a cool feel, and like I'm not really like into the panels that are set, you know, one right after the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of like the dream sequence being like that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was fun to do. So we're doing that for all flashbacks in the book.
I like see people trying different things, new things with it.
Yeah, for sure. But everybody have no fear. Andino is here.
Oh, all right.
Right.
In case you were getting a little worried, it's all good.
I was.
Thankfully, you saved the chat. And with this, you know, the look of the flashback here is so different than, you know, the normal pages. You're not going to be confused of, you know, oh, are we in the past, or, you know, something like that now. It's just
sure. Yeah, that's actually a big part of the story. Like that last panel there, it's how the Bone Daddy-O is kind of like trafficking these mermaids from their island into the city. So you have like, you see like his nightlife party boat, and then under the boat are these mermaids suffering, squashed in, back, you know, taken to the new city.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it turned out awesome.
It's pretty dark stuff.
Fatty's in the chat. What's up, Fatty? Thanks for stopping by. Save the chat, save the dream. Absolutely. Somebody needs to save these mermaids.
Yeah.
That's what Magic Comics is here to do.
Yeah, this is a page from the first story that Brandon and I ever did with Magic Cop. He kind of like drew up this action sequence for him to practice his sequentials, and we turn it into a 12-page short story, lots of action where Grey Wolf and Magikarp are hunting down these pixie dust drug dealers, which is the drug in the city. And these guys are like Japanese kabuki demons. And this story is actually in the ash can. So if you guys get our featured tier, which comes with the book in the ash can, which is like the behind the scenes book, it's got a bunch of concepts in it, a lot of back material, and this 12-page pilot issue.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, this one was really interesting because I had drawn 8 pages of it before Phil really did anything with it. And so he basically, it was like the opposite of what you would normally do. So I had drawn out 8 pages of action sequence, and then he wanted to add a little bit of story. So he wrote 4 pages to add on to the beginning to kind of lead up into this action sequence. And then he went back and put dialogue to the action sequence that I had already drawn. So it is a really unique setup, and
it's a fun exercise.
Yeah, it was a really weird exercise.
Yeah.
That's cool. Lakeem Amir's in the chat. What's up, my friend? Appreciate you. What About says, I've always wished movies that did flashbacks to a prior decade would do a visual effect where it looked like how the TV or video did then.
Yeah.
So you're fulfilling his dream.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're kind of trying to take those like TV elements throughout the whole thing. So I always say like the way you read this comic, it's as if you're like watching a show. So you're not going to find any like inner monologue narration like you'd find in like a Batman comic of him, contemplate, like, thinking about stuff. It's basically your like first person view of a TV watching a story made for TV kind of. You're gonna see like different scenes, like we'll see the bad guys talking, and that'll be conveyed to the audience. And there's not really any overlap there with narration. So we wanted to keep it true to that, even down to like, instead of this being book 1, it's episode 1. So kind of like throwbacks.
All the way down to the camera spikes.
Cool.
Yeah. People spiking the camera.
Yeah, there's you've added a lot since I've taken a look at this.
Yeah, I always want to
Camera.
update those pages so people like Sim and Edwin the Ace don't yell at you. Need those updates. So this one's a pretty sick scene. O'Hara, our giant leprechaun, who's my favorite character, he's blowing down a door with his shooting rainbows out of his hat, rainbow magic. And then the next scene, they go in and do a raid the prostitutes' hideouts.
We did a couple of passes on this one after the colors were coming back because there was like the idea that everything looked too much like fire and there wasn't enough rainbow being conveyed. But putting the rainbows out where like the colors were horizontal, or let's say perpendicular to the travel line, it just looked really weird, and it's not how you would have like rainbows traveling. So we did a lot of work with Eugene. He came through and just made this page look awesome with like getting that full rainbow effect through everything.
Yeah, I like how you put it on the sound effect too.
Yeah.
Phil did all that.
That took me a while too. I'm like, I don't know how I want to do these letters, but having the letters black and putting the rainbows behind it, actually, I thought it looked pretty cool.
Kind of trippy.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, you just get lost in those colors.
That's awesome.
Cool, man. Sorry, I'm just being kind of selfish here. I want to look through. I've seen this one.
Yeah, that's the
that's
the next page where they go in, break in. It's Madam Sith. This is a new one too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a scene where the guys, of course, wouldn't have the 80s aspect to the cop show if they don't go undercover. So these guys go undercover a lot. They have some weird aliases. The Grey Wolf puts on a Jamaican accent.
How exactly does Grey Wolf go undercover?
Well, here's the thing.
Ponytail.
He puts his hair into a ponytail and wears some shorts and puts on a Jamaican accent.
Are they cargo shorts?
No,
they
I
are
don't
not.
think so. They're like boating shorts,
Okay. Because aren't like cargo khakis like aren't those like dad shorts or something?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know how popular they were in the 80s though. So I had to think of just kind of like something that would be tropical of the area.
I always think of Miami Vice when I see this, though.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
of
total
course.
influence from Miami Vice. You know, we didn't want it to be like too much of Miami Vice, but it's really hard to do
Okay.
the 80s.
I
But
want to tell you like this. I think of more like Lost Boys meets Miami Vice.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. I dig that.
Yeah, just not as much nighttime action.
Yeah. Yeah.
towards
Towards
of
the end,
comic,
I know there's some prostitutes. Like,
yeah,
Hey, prostitutes come out during the day. That's a common misconception.
daytime hookers.
they're 24 hours.
Yeah, man. Gaming or what's in the chat? How's it going, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, absolutely. This reminds me of Vice City, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh
Yeah, I heard there was a new Vice City on the way. This could
Oh
be-
yeah, we got to make a video about that for the crossover. Hit those views.
Prick 13's in the house. What's up, Prick?
What's
Good
up,
to see you,
Prick?
man.
Yeah, there's some new ones also. Interrogation scene. What was that?
Somebody said Hotline Miami meets Adult Swim.
Oh yeah, yeah. We get Adult Swim cartoon a lot.
Y'all play like a lot of GTA, a lot of
Oh yeah,
games like that.
yeah. When Vice City was out, the GTA game, we played that a bunch.
Yeah,
That was super fun. It's one of the best GTA's.
a little blockhead. Everybody who backed the book, even digitally, is going to get a version of this so that they could either print it out at home or they're going to get a hard copy of it and they could cut it out and put it together, add it to their blockhead collection.
I love the blockheads.
It's a poor man's pop.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're so cool though, and you know, for some original IPs like we have in Comics Kid, I think that's awesome that he's doing that for everybody.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely
Like,
awesome.
if you print it at home, do you just put it together yourself?
Yeah, yeah, you put it together. Even
Yeah.
when you get it with the book, you just get like a 8.5 by 11 poster board that we printed on, and then you just cut out the little guy, and you don't need any glue or anything. Or there's like just little fins that fit inside of slots.
So I can make him look like whatever I want him to.
Oh, geez, here we go. The Twitter
gonna
pics
be
are going to be
fun.
amazing. Piper's in the house. What's up,
Hey.
Piper? So is Adam.
Hail Piper. Hail Adam.
Hail, Adam. How's it
What's up,
going?
everybody?
You have to get the Magic Cop one. So when we do Magic Cop 2, we do like a Grey Wolf one.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine a Grey Wolf one where it has like the foldable snout? Like it's like pushed into the face. That would be
That would be
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, we'll have to do a Grey Wolf one for Piper. Just loves those wolves.
Oh yeah, the werewolf fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's been
did
going
the same.
around lately.
Yeah, it's like a VD.
Just move over.
Cool, man. Do you still have this print available for everyone who backs both of these campaigns?
Yeah, there's something new on the campaign also. We have the original art for that, which is two, big 11 by 17 pieces of paper, double page spread. So any original art collectors out there, they could get that for an awesome price, as well as it comes with both of the books. So it's the
Awesome.
line art. Yeah.
Very cool. So
Mhm.
yeah, I forgot about the naughty prints.
Everybody loves
Naughty
those-
Prince? Ooh.
Yeah.
Those naughty prints.
Tell me about the Naughty Prince.
Never forget. And then if you want to go up to the updates, we have those a little better picture of the sketch cards that we could show off before we talk
There was a
about
naughty sketch card too, but that got
Oh.
sold.
Oh yeah, that one's already bought now.
I'm tuned in now.
Yeah, so these are Passion for Drawing did these awesome sketch cards. He did them over on his stream on Mixer. He streams all the time on over there, and he did 4 of them because he really liked Bone Daddy-O, so he wanted to do that one also. And that was the one that already sold. So the Skeleton Guy's gone. We got Grey Wolf, Magic Cop, and Helly are the last 3 ones that we're trying to get rid of.
Cool.
I love the heli that he did. The sunglasses are so cool.
Yeah, Passion's great.
Yeah, for sure. Anon is in the house. What's up, my friend?
Oh no.
Hail Caesar Caligula's in the house also. What's
He
up,
has
buddy?
like those Jessica Rabbit breasts going on there where they're like anti-gravity.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Red, did you see what Piper says? You think we should do this?
Do a
Oh,
wolf
naughty
boy
wolf
one?
boy. Why not?
Have a buyer right there. Why wouldn't you?
Yes.
That
yeah,
is
yeah,
true.
that's one guaranteed right there.
I don't know if Passion will draw. You could have him doing like what's the Burt Reynolds Playgirl pose, but he'll have the shotgun right between his legs.
We do one where a sketch card where it's him doing like the George Costanza on the
Yeah,
sofa.
exactly.
That'd be simple. Passion could just take a picture of himself and trace over it and add hair.
That's
And the
true. He's got the
boxers.
hair for it. He's
Yeah.
a furry man.
Whoa.
Oh, man, well, Lethal Lightning is here. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says, gaze me up, baby. Gaze me good. Hail CG. Hail
Those
the gaze
Australian
agenda.
dollars.
Yes,
Hey, it's all right. It's all right.
To its rightful towering position.
He says, now shut up and elevate my dong to its rightful towering position. Glory to Red Gaze. Thank you, Lethal Lightning. Appreciate
Hail.
you, man.
Was that your first one?
That's my second. Optimus
Second.
Deadpool
Oh,
beat him
man.
to the punch.
Who beat him to the French?
Optimus Deadpool.
Oh
Yeah.
that was right before I came in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dang,
The Tungsten is here also. What's up, my friend?
that's what I get for being late.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you gotta get your act together, Lola. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey! When everybody's got the flu around you, what are you supposed to do?
No excuses.
I'm just gonna pretend that was aimed at Brandon, so I don't feel that. All right, cool. So yeah, if you haven't backed Magic Cop yet, still some sketch cards available. Plenty of cool stuff coming along with it. Get your
Yeah.
poor man's pop.
Yeah. Everyone gets that.
It's not a poor man's pop, man. That's like, okay, like when you're like a little girl, right? We have these paper dolls as little girls, you play with. And that's kind of what it reminds me of, is a paper doll.
Sure. And I think these are cooler than pops because of the design that really goes into them. I think like the pops are, a lot of times they're so generic, that it's hard to tell who's who or anything like that.
Yeah,
Here,
I hear you. Listen, I don't even like pops, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have a couple
Pops.
but they're very, very specific. Like I have a Space Ghost one, but I'm not going out to buy, some Stranger Things one or whatever. That's just some random guy. I think like,
This Lobo
they
one,
just
man.
don't work. Oh yeah, Lobo. Nice. What's on his face?
He's got a cigar.
No. What's like he has acne or something?
It's blood. This is the
Oh.
bloody version.
Okay.
Is this adolescent Lobo?
Oh,
Puberty
Have you
Lobo?
seen like the people that take the pops and like they make other characters out of
yeah,
them?
yeah. There was
Like James Hayes art, like he makes like like different CG characters and stuff.
yeah.
I don't know if he's done one of y'all's yet, but
No.
he's really
Oh yeah,
good.
James Hayes is awesome.
Yeah,
all around.
He's a badass.
Is he the one who did that Spider-Man that had like the fly eyes and stuff like that with like the fangs and stuff?
I think so. He did.
That was awesome.
He did Tug. He did Umbrella Guy.
I
Yeah,
think that was him then. Yeah, that was awesome. He's doing some really cool work.
Yeah,
but
for
there's
sure.
someone else in CG that's doing that too. It's been
I know
like they made like a little, I think a Baby Yoda or something, or
it was the Blockheads guy. What's his name?
Blockheads.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Blockheads. He's making them. He's made some out of resin, right?
Yeah, he did Cecil, and then he sent Cecil a hard resin one.
Yeah.
And I know he's making like only 4 hard resin ones for the cash grab
The campaign.
campaign. Yeah.
That's cool. I like
That
the
is
Baby
cool.
Yoda one because it had like the Baby Yoda was tiny and then the Mandalorian was regular Blockhead size. That was really cool.
Cool.
there's
We got
so much freaking talent, like
Yeah, there's
just across the board, and like you guys are bringing like new stuff, like something
it's so much
fresh to
fun.
it.
Like Phil
Yeah,
got
for sure.
randomly messaged by somebody who, I don't know, he's not even on Twitter or something. He just messaged us. He was like, "Oh, I did some fan art for you guys, and I want to email it to you. What's your email address?" And it was phenomenal. This
Yeah.
piece. So
It's
good.
so cool.
We're
We're thinking about doing it as a poster or maybe a cover for next book, but yeah, we get like I'll get messages from people that I don't know, that I don't even know if they're part of Comicsgate, but our books are so good and so different from each other. Like you look at Magic Cop, and there's like 3 other books that involve magic that don't even look like this book, you know,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and those books don't look like each other. So
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's totally awesome. There's a ton of talent. Like all, I mean, across the board, there's just so
Yeah.
much. Writers, artists, yeah, just all sculptors. There's all kinds of stuff going on. The people are just amazing. We got Ryan Miller art in the chat. What's up, my friend? Says hail Caesar, hail War Campaign, hail Red Gaze with his smooth buttery voice. Thank you.
Ooh.
I can't believe it's not buttery.
Tungsten EXE says here is a third hail the gaze. Thank you, brother. That's anyone. I gotta get familiar with these these currencies.
Units of currency.
I think it's I think he's from Singapore. Yeah,
Cool, man.
SGD. I've bought enough
Purchase.
statues to know that that's Singapore.
I appreciate
Artist
you,
is
man.
American.
Yeah,
It's US dollar.
yeah. Lolo's got you
Thanks
on
for
that one, brother.
Appreciate it. Piper says, yeah, but the boys had paper ninja stars. That's where it was at, man. Yeah, for sure. These things were awesome. You guys any good at making those?
At the paper, like the little
Yeah.
football things.
Yeah, little paper ninja stars that you'd fold up and toss
I
at each
didn't
other
ever
in
done like
class.
the 6-pointed ones, but I'm sure.
Brandon used to do paper cranes, and he would make a paper crane out of dollar bills and give it to people as tips.
Tips.
Yeah, not strippers though.
No.
Right, of course.
Try to float them across the stage.
Yeah, you should just come with like a giant sack of dollar
Like
bill
they-
paper cranes and just throw them at a stripper.
Like a cheese balls tub, but they're full of dollar paper cranes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hook the beaks on the G-strings.
Awesome.
Compop's in the house. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. Lothar D's here. How's it going, my friend?
We'll save that for the Comicsgate convention in Orlando. We'll all have to go out to a club.
Oh yeah, somebody's going to be in a G-string.
Oh yeah.
Cecil or somebody.
Oh my god.
That's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking. Dark Gift is here. What's up, man? Thank you. He says, "What's up? What's up? Look at who's monetized and shit." Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's awesome. It's flowing in here. It's great.
Yeah.
It is. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. When did you get 1,000?
I got 1,000 either Friday night or Saturday morning,
It's awesome.
and yeah, I just got monetized this morning actually.
Weren't you like a couple weeks ago? You were at 800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a couple
sketch
pops.
cards, right?
Yeah, man.
That was
Awesome.
sick. Yeah, congrats, brother.
Yeah, Sim is awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's some cool stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do a thank you stream here shortly. I might aim for Saturday. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, do some giveaways. Just thank the people,
Yeah.
But for right now, I think the people want to know about the lost pages.
Let's do it.
Ooh.
Check out the logo.
I know I do.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is our next book that we're launching after Magic Cop fulfills, after it ships out, and then we're deep diving into the lost pages. This is like an IP that goes super far back for Brandon and I.
This is OG.
Yeah, OG ZAID Comics. Yeah.
Thank you, Zaid.
Yeah. The first character that we ever came up with and published was this character on the right here, the guy all in black. His name's the Silhouette. And we published him and took, comics to like the Wizard World Chicago over here and some smaller conventions like 7 years ago. But he wasn't drawn because we were, young and
Artists are expensive, and I wasn't good at drawing at the time. And
yeah, we wanted to do it ourselves. So what we did is
yeah.
we took pictures in front of a green screen, and we were the comic. Like we had our friends come over to our house in our garage and take pictures, and Brandon would Photoshop them to make them look like comic books. So the Silhouette was the first character that we had, and since then we came up with more characters and more stories. We took a break from doing those, and came back I had been writing short stories, throughout being in college of these characters and stuff like that. And then we did Magic Hop, and we're like, this is the perfect time. We're gonna, introduce Comicsgate to these badass characters.
Cool, man.
This is what's gonna be. Brandon came up with that awesome logo. Yeah,
That is an awesome logo.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like that.
I wanted to do it when I was drawing that up. It's kind of hard to see here. Is there a better visual of
no,
it?
there's not.
Unfortunately, there's no better visual of it. I was like, Phil was telling me what he wanted. I had done a couple of different logos because I just love designing logos. I've done a couple of logos for guys in CG also. And for this one, I wanted to do like this really old rustic look, and was looking at like old copper etchings that you would use as like a stamp or kind of like a relief. And it just kind of flowed out perfectly. And then Phil was just like, I want to do like some plasma like cosmic looking magic. And I just added that in, and it was almost a single pass basically on this logo. It was crazy just how well it came together.
Wow. Yeah, that looks really cool. I just like the whole effect of it coming out of the, the parchment.
Yeah.
And it's obviously, older parchment pages. I'm down with that kind of stuff. I love the whole theme. Real quick, Piper says, almost forgot. Congrats, Red, for $2. Thank you very much, Piper. Appreciate you. And Dino thinks it's Narwhal that's going to show up in the G string. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Definitely a possibility.
So is Oro.
Yeah, he needs to bring that mask back. I miss it. Dark Gift says we need a link to the mailing list. Yes, you do. One moment.
Oh yeah. Gotta get on
All right, guys. So tell us what's going on here a little bit. As I get
Sure.
a look.
Yeah. So the Lost Pages is a series of stories narrated by a character. It's basically our connected universe. It's multiple heroes living in one world that will come together eventually. And this is the book that starts it all. It sets the foundation for them and introduces the reader to the characters through a narration device of this book, this giant magical tome called the Book of Lost Pages, and he's the only one that can read from it. So in the story, he's telling these tales of these heroes to other homeless people, other homeless guys, and kids and stuff like that. Whoever will listen. And throughout the story, we find out who this homeless guy is and why he has the book. And so what I wanted to do was give each character their own time to shine. And this book is really an exploration of storytelling genre and different comic genre. So each character is in a different style. It is in a different genre, and it's drawn by a different artist. So there's 4 different artists on this book that I've been working closely with. I've written all the stories, and you'll see some familiar names like, comic master Joe Ball.
Oh yeah.
Of superhero fame. He's working on a story with me with a character named Wildcard, who's, as you could see there, he's an ancient magician or ancient sorcerer who basically keeps the balance between gods and man. He lives since Merlin times, and he was an apprentice to Merlin. And so a lot of his stories are just throughout time. And this one takes place in the 1600s, where he's riding as a captain of a pirate ship, and his crew gets overtaken by the song of the sirens, and he has to fight these sirens for his life and the life of his crew. So
cool, man.
Super awesome pirate action with that story. Joe Ball's doing hyper detailed stuff that I've never seen him do, man. It's so cool.
Wow, that is cool. Hey, real quick, Lola, could you read this one for me?
It says, congratulations on getting this $10 US. You have arrived, sir.
Thank you very much, Lola. And by the way, everybody, don't feel like you have to super chat just because you can. I appreciate it very much, but I'll still be reading your chats like always. Don't you worry.
Super chat because you love red.
Exactly.
Hail, brother.
Yeah, so thank you.
just like what we're doing with, you know, the difference between Magic Cop and the Lost Pages. Within the Lost Pages, there's a bunch of different genres. So if you love 90s comics and the over-the-top violence of that, we have a story for you, which is there at the bottom left there. The character's name is Crimstone. It's this awesome power lifter babe who has this over the top monster imaginary friend that lives in her head, and he comes back to her from her childhood, and when he comes back he's this super jacked out of his mind, like Lobo-esque high T toxic masculinity character that is, you know, always trying to pick a fight and then become crime fighters because of that. She's
So it's like a murderous drop dead Fred.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So that one's got like it's super bright colors, very 90s. Lots of blood. All the like he's ripping people's arms off, but it's all in her head. Like the blood is like crazy over the top colors. Working with an amazing artist, goes by the name Wolf on that book. And
yeah, I like his style.
oh yeah, the that's one of my favorite stories. I'm really excited about that. Just I can't wait. And then there's two other ones. You guys saw the Silhouette before, which I've teased on other streams. I was on Between the Panels on Adam AF stream talking about that because the Silhouette is going to be featured in the preview section of CG Jumpstart.
Very cool.
We have a 4-page short story that is kind of introducing that character to everybody, and that's like our like Frank Miller esque vigilante story. That's why everybody's like, oh, it looks like Sin City, because that one's going to be in black and white with red for the blood and very inner monologue driven.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Hey, real quick, Rotten Glory says, signed up. He tried to Google search it, even typed in the Lost Pages. Indiegogo did not supply the link. So, yeah, I'll be putting the link in the chat periodically, and when the stream is over, I will put it in the description.
Probably he just put it up today, so
thanks, Lola.
Because I signed up.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's I think because it's so like we just put it up today, you probably won't be able to find it on Google through a search yet.
Yeah, they take a minute to come around sometimes, but yeah, after like a day or so, I don't usually have any problems.
Yeah,
it should be good.
Dark Hip
Still
Comics,
time to
thanks,
get
brother.
Magic Cop. We got until March. We're gonna fulfill in March, so still a little time.
Yeah, get on that Magic Cop.
The sooner the better.
Is he hot?
Yes.
Asking for a friend.
You can look, I'm right here.
Wait, who is who hot?
I'm not sure if she's talking about the artist or the.
Oh, Wolf. Wolf's a woman.
Oh, well, is she hot? Asking for Lola.
Yeah. Also, all of our characters are hot. So.
Well,
I mean, look at these two fine young men. You know they got to be hot.
all of the characters are. Yeah. Sure. And then our last artist, who's James McVaughn, is doing like our, what would I say, like the intermediate pieces. So like the narrator, so the hobo section of the book. And you can see in that last panel, there's the homeless guy, and that's one of the pages where you kind of like get the sense of what's going on in the story. He's reading from the book, and you see all these characters floating up through the smoke. And some of them are characters that we'll explore in the future, kind of like Easter eggs. If you guys know the old Silhouette comics, which I know none of you do, and no one does because only like 5 people bought the comics, there's some characters that are referenced in there from old ZAID Comics lore, and that one's kind of like more of, it reminds me of a like fictional anime movie style art that James does and brings to it. So I'm really excited about that.
Cool. Yeah, I like that you're getting different artists in on this.
Yeah. And if we make a stretch goal, I'll be able to draw a story for it as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to
So
catch that.
the cool thing we're going to do here is the stretch goals are going to add more stories to the book. So I've written 4-page short stories for each of the characters, just as like an exercise for me to kind of like grab the voice of these characters, so I know them better.
Right.
And they kind of like act as like trailers for the character. You
Oh,
get
cool.
a sense of who they are and the world they're in and what they could do. So I have 4-page stories for each of the characters, and what we're going to do is for his stretch goals, we're going to just add those onto the book, so the book will get bigger and bigger as we go.
Oh, that's awesome. We got Metal Movies and Brewskis in the chat. It says, "What's up, bro? Hail. How's it going, my man? That's an awesome name, by the way." Totally down. All right. So as of right now, you have 4 stories working in this book, and possibly more with stretch goals.
Correct.
Yes.
If you count the hobo selling point, you know, I know the hobo aspect of the comic book is a huge hook for
Yeah.
people.
Everybody
yeah.
loves
Kind of
hobos.
a 5th story in there, right?
Yeah. So yeah, and that's not even one of the story. Like it's
Right.
the narration of it. So there's the 4th character, like the 4th hero in it, is a character named the Masquerade. So if you scroll up all the way to the top, you could see him above the silhouette. He's got this like big comedy mask for like comedy and tragedy. He's like, I would say his genre would be like a pulp hero, like the Phantom or the Shadow. He's from the 1930s, and he like taking out gangsters and like wacky supervillains. So he's a very interesting character. He speaks only in iambic pentameter, like he's themed around like theater. So he
Right.
loves Shakespeare. He's very theatric. The way he narrates his stories are all rhyming and metaphorical. He carries a rapier. He's also a master of disguise, so he could take his cape and throw it over him and morph into anyone, take their form. Badass.
Oh, very cool. Now, you spoke a little bit on him. Could you give us some background on some of these other guys, like the silhouette? I mean, I know it probably kind of speaks for itself, but maybe not to everybody.
Yeah, sure. So the silhouette, he's like our modern day hero, as it says right there. So he's set in the present day. He's a supernatural vigilante, as it says also. So he doesn't know his past. He is a silhouette. He is basically a shadow. And he could be hurt in different ways, but not like humans can. He could make guns and weapons out of the darkness. He could walk through walls, stuff like that. But the way he looks at life is very black and white. So if you're someone that does bad things, then you don't deserve any help and you deserve bad things done to you. But as you'll find out in this story, it's very narration heavy in how he views things. But you'll find out that the only reason he does the things he does is because of the small amount of innocence that is left in this city that he resides in. His story, which is called A Shadow Taller Than a Soul, is a knight in his shoes. So he's walking down the streets of it's Chicago, and at like 3 a.m, and just observing his surroundings, and he just sees sin everywhere, and then he encounters some innocence, and he has to kick some ass.
Cool.
Yeah, he
Cool,
has a lot
cool.
of like he's still based in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So he's got like like that old city like lore about him too. You know, when we were doing the old comic books, there was like nobody really understood, kind of like Batman. You know how like there's like that like
He's like an
a
urban
man
legend.
bat, yeah, like an urban legend. You know, so we have like that. People don't understand if it's like a ghost haunting or like a shadow person, some sort of weird cryptid, or just like a guy out there doing things. So there's like that confusing, mysterious feeling that he gives off, and the city kind of doesn't understand what's going on.
Cool. Yeah, I mean it's fun to know not just what these guys can do, but also their motivations, kind of going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a really interesting character because of the motivations and the growth that he's going to go through throughout the storylines with him. Back when we were writing him originally, there was so much uh, of like the built-in mystery with his backstory and how he became, and just leading up into him figuring all that stuff out is going to be really, really interesting for the reader.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got True comment in the chat. He says, "Hail champs, what's up, my friend? Thanks
Hail
for stopping
champs.
by." Blue Sea Hill says, "Will there be a tier for those who missed Magic Cop?" Well, Magic Cop is still in demand.
Yeah, you can get
Do you guys-
Magic Cup now.
Do you guys know how long you're going to keep that in demand?
I know we're going to keep it in demand until we have to go. Well, I mean, I guess we could keep it in demand until forever, until we
Yeah,
sell out.
a
I mean,
lot
we
of people,
could, right?
Yeah, like if you look at guys like Vinny Tartamella, he's just keeping his books in demand, and it's basically utilizing Indiegogo as a storefront for
Yeah.
your comics, which is super interesting. It's awesome. I think that's a new aspect for a lot of people in Comicsgate. So we might do that. Or, if we don't do that, I think it would be smart to have that the book as an add-on for our next campaign.
Sure. And then we're
Either
gonna
way,
do
you guys
Magic
will
Cop 2.
always be able to get that.
We'll do
book.
Magic Cop 2, and when we do Magic Cop 2, if we run out of the overprint from the first printing, we'll offer a second printing of Magic Cop 1
Yeah.
to go along with Magic Cop 2.
Cool. Yeah, very cool. I know people love that.
I know
Passion for
there's-
Drawings here. He says, "One more midget, no more midgets."
Yeah.
Is that an inside joke?
Yes.
I guess he's got a thing about midgets. He's like Austin Powers with carnies.
Yeah. Small hands smell like
Small
cabbage.
hands. Yeah. Smell like cabbage.
Who has a thing for midgets?
Passion for Drawing. And Joe Ball. Joe Ball is a thing for midgets.
Huge midget fans.
I think
Little
deep down we all have a thing for midgets.
No,
Dude, there's this guy at our work. You don't even know.
no.
Oh yeah, there's a guy at our work that has a huge thing for midgets.
I'm sorry. If he needs a step stool to reach the cabinet, no.
But he doesn't need a step stool to reach your heart, Lola.
Oh,
Man.
But he might if he's 4 foot tall.
Are you like 6 foot tall? Is that the thing?
Yeah,
That would be crazy.
that would be amazing.
6 foot and taller.
we got to keep in mind some people may have had traumatic midget experiences.
That's true. Yeah, I want all the midgets that want to buy our books to buy our books. So I'm not.
We're not.
Oh, I'm
alienating
not saying
any
I'm
customer
against,
base.
midgets. I'm just, I don't want to date one.
Midgets, close your wallets.
Is this true, Red? What about is saying in the chat?
My chat actually stopped flowing.
Well, what about says some have nice butts.
Midgets?
That's what they said.
I mean, I can't disagree with that. I've seen a few.
All right.
To the internet.
I mean, you got Bridget the midgets as a stripper, so
Oh.
he's like the famous little stripper that goes around all the little strip clubs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I got the chat back. There we go.
Yeah, there you
See, someone else saw her do one.
go. Yep.
Yep. Not surprised it's Mogwai Centurion.
That's my boy right there.
Ryan Miller Art says, "I'm 5'6", so being with a midget would just make me feel like I'm an average heighted man."
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, Mogwai. So what kind of villains are we looking at in this book?
Oh, the villains are awesome. There's a huge gallery. It's
Oh, yeah.
specifically the old villains. I don't, this one is being taken a little more serious than the old stuff for right now. So like, your villains that we have going on in this comic series, specifically for the Lost Pages, Phil's going to get into that because he does all the writing on here and stuff. But, we used to go really, really crazy with our villains, specifically for the Silhouette, being the only comic we had produced at the time. We had the original villain for the Silhouette was, his name was the Tittler. and he was a guy who was obsessed with the letter I and the letter T, and he was just like a kind of like a Riddler-esque character who would go around like I don't know, he was like just trying to run guns and stuff, but he was getting a bad rap because his name was the Titler. And then we had like
because the small dot above the letter lowercase I is called a tittle.
and the J.
Yeah, and the J.
And
So he was
actually the
obsessed
line
with that.
that crosses the T.
Super narcissistic, stuff like that. But in this story, like Brandon was saying, we're going more serious with the characters. Later on, I would love to explore that wacky stuff. And it, with different heroes, it's good to reflect your villains a little differently. Some of the villains in this one, we have the Sirens, which is in the wild card story that Joe Ball is drawing. There's 3 sirens, from Greek mythology. They're these beautiful women that sit on the shores and sing the song to the sailors to have them crash into the mountainsides, and then they eat them. And there's a big misconception of what sirens look like. A lot of they get confused with mermaids a lot, but they're not. In traditional Greek mythology, they're beautiful women that are turned into horrific bird ladies by the goddess Demeter. And I think we hit that on the nail with Joe's art. You could see some of them in the bottom corner of that panel where it says Joe Ball. That's one of the sirens' mouths. She's pretty close to the camera, but it's this horrific bird lady with the tongue sticking out. Each of them have their own design, and we're really leaning into that creepy horror element here with Joe's, monstrous art. So those are going to be some awesome villains. I think we're gonna come back to those characters in the future also, because they're pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And that's is that something you might be able to mix into Magic Cop eventually?
Yeah, actually,
That's
we
funny.
wanted to do, and we'll probably do this in the future, is there's one character that actually crosses over between these 2 universes in the future. So there's going to be room for some crossover with, jumping dimensions and stuff like that. So I would love to do that because, there's a lot of magic in both of the books. And Wildcard is going to be a really awesome character that explores these horrific mythical creatures.
Cool, man. We got Vinny here. What's up, Vinny? How's it going, my man?
Hey guys, not too bad. I was just streaming with Drew, Brian Kriskow, and it's Crystal McGee.
Nice.
They all wanted to say hello to you guys and congratulate Red on hitting his 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, and I will thank them.
Oh yeah. So hey guys, hey bros, and Lola.
Oh, man.
Lola's one of the bros.
She is. She's the best.
We got Fenrir Fire in the chat. What's up, my friend? Love that guy also. Says, of course, he's live, Red Gaze is streaming. Yeah, I have noticed a pattern.
We've all noticed the pattern.
It's clockwork.
Yes. But that's okay. That's okay. We still got plenty of people watching. Thank you all. Appreciate you. But yeah, Vinny, have you taken a look at this at all?
Which one is this?
This is the Lost Pages.
Yeah, this is
No,
the
I
book
haven't
that we're doing.
seen it yet.
Yeah.
Is this the one that I retweeted today?
Yeah, this is our new book that we're doing after Magic Cop comes out.
Oh, very cool. Oh, yeah. You were telling me a little bit about this on a previous, after one of these streams a while back.
Yeah, for sure.
How
Yeah,
many artists do you have working on this one?
so just on the main
5
book,
right now.
not talking about the stretch goals, is it 4? It's 4.
It has to
It's
be
these 4. So
Oh, because the
1, 2, 3,
masquerade
4.
book.
Yeah.
Wait, is Brandon at least drawing the hobo?
No, I'm
No,
not doing
he's-
anything in the main book right now. Actually.
Yeah,
What
we're gonna have him on a stretch goal.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you guys have a fight?
No. Phil really wanted to expedite this and get some really cool other art out there. And so while I was working on Magic Cop, he was playing around with some other artists and looking at some styles and stuff. And he just really loved a lot of the styles that kind of lent themselves to conveying the message of the story of these specific characters. and like I can't compete with Joe Ball, and the Wolf and stuff. These guys are just so good, and their art just tells the story so excellently that I can't compete with that. But I'm gonna do, if we reach one of the stretch goals, I'm gonna do the story for it's a character that's kind of like a 90s style assassin character, and so
Nice.
she's a hot chick, so I'm really gonna enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
You can tell us the truth, Brandon. He kicked you, didn't he?
You what? You kicked me? It's my company. I'll decide what happens.
Did you give him too much shit on Magic Cop? Is that what happened?
No, I understand where he's coming from, here, and I'm happy that it's gonna go the way that it's going. I think.
Yeah, and you'll get a little break
awesome.
too.
I'm gonna bring
Well,
up some good artists there, like Joe Ball. His stuff is like
Yeah, Joe's
so
awesome.
detailed and so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's going to free me up for, once I'm done with doing Magic Cop, the first one, I'm going to start doing some promo art for that. And I have, the rest of the art that I need to do for the fulfillment, like posters and covers and stuff like that. And then after that, we're just going to do Magic Cop 2 for when we launch that, like late summer. So, we're just going to be able to keep moving along by having, outsourcing some of the art, for this stuff. And then, when I do Magic Cop, we'll just keep everything rolling along, instead of just sitting around grinding out all the time. At least we'll be able to enjoy some of the fruits of, getting these products out there to everybody.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it sounds like you guys really got it together too, which is awesome to see. No, I'm serious. Yeah. I'm serious. Passion says, I'm staying on this stream. I support Red Gaze, Lola, Vinny, and the Diazes. Well, thank you very much, Passion.
Hail, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Hail.
And I'm just giving you a hard time. Like,
no, it's cool.
Passion's giving him a hard time too. He says Phil kicked his own brother to the curb, just like Stanley did.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I know what's gonna happen. It's Lola wants to see it too. One of them's gonna get so pissed off, you're gonna see an empty box, and then in the next box, you're gonna see one brother tackle the other.
Yes. Yeah. Fight.
Are you guys actually in the same house?
No.
We are.
Yeah.
All right, then that's a possibility.
Wait, are you in the same house? Really?
We're anywhere you want us to be, Lola.
Brandon's kind of got that reverse Adam Post look going on with the black curtain and the red couch.
Yeah, true.
He's got like a very simplistic look, like I always assumed that y'all lived in different areas, like different houses, your own houses.
No, we're saving up money so we could do business ventures. So we live at home.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we want to become, want to open our own strip club.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
You're gonna hire midgets?
ZAID Strip Club.
Hire whoever wants to work there, as long as they're hot.
Only hot midgets.
Hail Mogwai Centurion. I appreciate that.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, hot
midgets. Hell yeah.
Only hot midgets.
What hotness is subjective, so.
I guess
well,
so.
if you're the one doing the hiring, it's really up to you.
Oh. Yeah.
What's that, Vinny?
Oh, what did I say? I don't even know. I'm zoning out, man.
Well,
right?
Let me bring you back around. Piper says, bow chicka bow wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so yeah, this sounds like a really cool project, and I dig the multiple artist thing. No offense, Brandon.
No, I mean, I know my place.
Obviously, you're on board with it.
No, yeah, and once we, like I said, when we do the stretch goals, there's other artists that aren't on this main team that are doing other stories. Brandon being one of them. I know Sim. I want to do a 4-page short story with Simon Simpotier.
Wait, you have to
if we get far enough.
You done did it now.
Doesn't get a mention here.
Yeah,
he's gonna launch the nukes.
Not Passion. Yeah, if if we get high enough, maybe we'll do one with Passion as well.
Yeah, they want to get high first, Passion. You heard it.
That was
They
a-
want the white drugs.
That was a definite maybe, Passion.
But the thing
Yeah,
is,
a hard maybe.
Passion's so good that we have to, raise the numbers up.
Hey, don't worry. I got pressured from EVS. He wanted me to have Kelsey's drawing
Yeah. The
as
cover, I
as
saw
a
that.
cover. I'm not doing. Sorry. If anything, maybe a variant cover if I hit a specific stretch goal, but I'm not replacing my current cover to put on a drawing stream cover. I know it's a cool piece. I love it. That's why I'm putting it in the book, and he won. But at the same time, I didn't have time to go in and really put tons of detail into that. And I busted my ass on the cover that I do have on my campaign. So if anything,
Yeah.
I'll do other cool stuff with it. But yeah, I know what it is getting put on the spot every now and then.
No.
Vinny, you got an invitation in the chat. Mogwai Centurion would like you to come to Tampa. He's got a VIP to about 3 strip clubs.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
Are
have to take
any,
it
are
up
any
on-
of those midget strip clubs?
Yeah.
Dude, save it for the CG Con.
Yeah.
CG
Yeah,
Con.
yeah. Bring the midgets down there.
I think you guys triggered Passion a little bit.
Yeah. No, Passion constantly brings this up.
Dude, he'll be the anchor. We'll use Passion as the anchor to make sure that we hit that high stretch goal.
Yeah.
Because people are going to want to see his art.
No,
They're gonna
I
wanna
got
see
to
it.
come up with I have to come up with a specific story for Passion because using him, I don't want to waste him on something because I need some badass fantasy story for
Sure.
Passion.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Um,
But then he's going
which
to
would
be
be awesome.
typecast as like a fantasy artist,
yeah, so that's fine.
I'm okay with that.
But weren't some of the greatest artists fantasy artists?
You know it.
course.
Frank Frazetta.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Louis Royo, man.
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
You got Julie Bell and Boris Vallejo.
Oh yeah, Boris is fucking awesome.
Passion, you're in good company. Don't cry, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll have, I don't know how many stretch goals we're going to have where we add more story to the book.
Yeah.
Can we have one for wolves?
Just wolves?
Yeah, to get more wolves thrown into these stories. Because
Oh, yeah, sure.
here, you know.
There's
Well,
a
Wild Card's sidekick is a wolf.
Oh yeah, that's true. We didn't even talk about Wildcard's best friend.
Yeah,
Wildcard has a best friend who is a talking wolf.
right. And his
His
name is
name's
Where
Scar, and he's in his stories.
right now?
Yeah, well, his real name's Scar. Sometimes he goes by the name Were Clown, but that comes later.
Did
But
you
yeah,
say
Scar-
bear clown?
Yeah. You guys
A
will.
bear clown?
Yeah,
Were
he's a Were Clown,
Oh Lord, no.
but he's a wolf, and
Clown.
they're-
It
Passion's trying to
backfired.
tell you he
Your
can do
plan
things
backfired.
other than fantasy.
That's right.
Grave robbers.
well, I'll have to come up with a Western story.
Wester's a brand new genre. Don't you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, this is a new thing.
Just like Were Clowns.
Yeah, Were Clowns are an old thing for us, but yeah, Scar is the best friend wolf. There's like actually a lot of wolves in the stories in the Lost Pages. It's kind of weird.
Well, hey, Lola, if you want a story that has wolves up through the woods,
That's
available.
true.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where
Hell
clowns?
yeah.
It's got a really sexy wolf, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's a cool one.
Did you say sexy
You guys are
wolf?
going to dig it.
What
Yeah,
are
we
up with
could-
you
we could-
chicks and
We could pitch through the woods real
Furries.
quick.
Furries over here.
yeah, Lola and
Wait a minute. The brothers are talking about furries. Hold on. Let's listen.
Dude, we just had, you want a furry thing? We just had a furry gathering at the arcade. There was
Yeah,
a
that
bunch
we
of
work at.
furries there.
That's weird.
Oh,
But here's the thing.
know.
So they emailed us a long time ago and they're like, hey, can we do like a furry gathering there? And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, thinking. And then so I went to the big boss man and I was like, hey, what do you want to do about these furry guys? And he's like, I don't know. So I told him, I was like, it's basically a fire hazard because like the super thin aisles and stuff, they wanted to dress up. And I was like, there's not enough room for that. So they were like, oh, that's cool.
And I hope it would be after hours, too.
No, they were coming during hours. I mean, the place is open till 2
I
a.m.
bet they were.
Oh boy.
But
Red.
they eventually they scheduled it and they weren't dressed up, but I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff that wants to happen. We had nudists that want to close down the place and then do like a nude arcade thing there one time.
What kind of arcade is this?
What in the
arcade?
Does War Campaign own this arcade?
sounds like it?
It seems like they want to book meetings up at this arcade all the time.
Yeah.
It's a regular video game arcade.
Like,
Hey, go
I've
ahead.
never in my life heard of someone booking an arcade for stuff like that.
I mean, we used to have like weddings and stuff. People would close it down for weddings, and they would get like officiated in there and stuff.
Weddings? For
Yeah.
real?
People are crazy. They're crazy
Like,
for
I could
video
see like a
games.
kid's birthday party or something, but
We used to do that a lot. But it's the world's largest arcade, so like it's kind of a mecca. We have like a huge zoo, and now we have this ridiculously huge arcade. It's the largest
Holy
arcade.
crap! Well, next
they're
time,
like one of the only ones left in the world.
next time, photos or it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And a good way of testing too, if a War Campaign's involved, if the emails end with "Hail brother."
yeah. Yeah. There's one time the boss scheduled this like model photo shoot, and then it was like a weird transvestite model photo shooting thing going on there.
Tell us more about that.
I wasn't there for that. I just caught on the
Tell us
camera, and it was
more
like some RuPaul's drag show type show. And I was like, oh,
man.
that was weird.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Lil's gonna take a trip soon.
Yeah.
Well,
Should
come out.
Should we get back to the pitch or not?
Yes, brother.
Back to
We're
the
on through the woods.
show.
Never mind.
Yeah, Through the Woods. It's an awesome story. It's a ghost story that centers around Laura Langley. She's an investigative reporter who inherits a property in upstate New York, and she finds out that it's haunted. And when she does a little bit of research, she finds out too that it is, or it was, a loggers camp 100 years in the past. And then she finds out there's some horrible things that happened. And yeah, as she kind of makes a slight encounter with a ghost, it kind of leads her to the back of her property that has this kind of rundown cabin. And in there, she accidentally reawakens a restless spirit. And that's kind of where the story it starts from. But you're going to find out what happened on that loggers camp. I have flashbacks. I do normally with like a sepia tone. But there is a pivotal part in it where I take the viewer from sepia straight into color, like slowly, page by page. So it feels like they're really like pulled into the story. That was kind of the approach I wanted. I've never seen that done before, so I figured let me give it a shot.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, thanks, man. The people who did get this on the first run, they absolutely loved it. So there's been a lot of good word of mouth on it. And as my other campaigns kept doing better and better, people were asking about this one, so I decided let me do a collected edition, and that's what I'm going to be releasing here. We're getting really close to the first stretch goal, which is going to unlock a hardcover. So anyone who backed the actual graphic novel tiers, it looks like you guys are going to be getting a hardcover edition.
Awesome.
So
Cool, man.
Yeah, this is that sepia tone you're talking about. Like,
yeah,
the box. You brought it out of the box. That's so cool.
Thanks, man. I had fun with the layouts. This whole story, I'm very proud of how my brother and I came up with it. I did the first draft on the initial story. It was going to be a horror and kind of really gory book, and it was mostly towards like the last couple of pages. But my brother goes, "How about we do a ghost story instead?" He goes, "We might get more people instead of like a little audience. I think it'll be more fun for everyone if we do it. More ghosts and more kind of suspense and spookiness." So we ended up doing that. He rewrote it, and then I loved it so much. I'm like, yeah, you write issue 2 and 3. We bounced ideas back and forth between one another, and we came up with this really cool tale. So I hope people like it. There is a lot of dark stuff in it. And the last part of the book, I put a little bit of gore in there. Nothing too over the top ish, but we had to put a little bit more in there because it was the big climactic ending as well. And yeah, I think you guys will dig it.
There's a lot of gore during the climax, is what you're saying.
Possibly.
Sometimes that's what some people need. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Supremacy's in the house. What's up, my friend? Thanks for
Hey, man.
stopping by. We were talking about Magic Cop. We're talking about the Lost Pages, and we're talking about Through the Woods, which is what you're looking at right now.
yeah. And Passion likes to support my hardness, apparently.
Yeah.
And who doesn't?
But not only that, you get oversized as well. So if I hit 12K, not only is it going to be hardcover, but you're going to get a book that's 8.5 by 11 inches. So it's a bigger format. You get to see even more of the artwork, a little bit bigger. Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go. So we're pushing hard on that one.
Bigger and harder.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And with the art in this book, I think that's going to be pretty easy sell.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's I put my all into this for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you kicked ass in your first week. Just have to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I looked, at the end of the week, I'm like, wow, these numbers are fantastic. It's been the best campaign so far. Well, the quickest to get to those kind of numbers.
Yeah, that's awesome. And let it be known, Vinny, that I don't think you draw women with flat asses. I think they're nice.
Thank you, man.
Asses.
Yeah, she apologized to me too, by the way. If you guys, you remember the pumpkin piece or the Halloween piece I put up, the chick with her ass up in the air, and the cat on top of the pumpkin.
Actually, I think that's the first thumbnail I ever made with you on a stream. I think was that piece.
Yeah.
Good one.
I tagged Anna in it, and she was like, "Oh my god, much better! This is amazing." And then she told me too. She goes, "Yeah, I didn't even realize how good of an artist you were." And she goes, "I felt bad because," she goes, "I was kind of out of context as well." And I'm like, yeah, no worries, we're all good.
Oh boy. Well, Passion's still on you, Phil. I don't know how much more of this you can take.
Passion's always on me.
Oh man, Passion really loves you guys.
Especially now that I'm lettering his book. It's always on me.
Oh, keep an eye out for typos, Passion.
I'm in the
change dialogue.
I hide the word dick everywhere.
I have a question. Are you two Italian
bubbles
as
are
well?
lining up.
Are you Italian brothers as well?
Italian? No.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
Because you and Vinny, you might have something more in common, but it's not.
Oh.
No, they're Rose's favorite people, Mexicans.
Yeah.
Oh.
I get Italian a lot, though.
Yeah.
When I was in Italy.
Hey, where I live, the Mexicans do run the Italian restaurant, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mexicans run a lot of restaurants.
Yeah. They're the best cooks.
They can cook.
Very good cooks.
So can Italian, man.
Passion claims you're Afghani.
Yeah, that's what Joe Ball would have you believe. He says I'm Afghani.
Come on, give us one of those
Just you?
yells.
Yeah, well that I did the recording for the war campaign intro. That was me.
Oh, really?
Authentic Afghani war cry.
Hello, Akbar. Oh my god.
By the way, we're all American, right?
Of course.
Oh yeah.
No racism here. Those sons of bitches.
Of course not. Of course not. The gays community is all accepting.
Yes.
I just thought maybe if you two were Italian, like Vinny and his brother's Italian, you.
And we could have a pasta fight.
Yeah. Oh my god. I want to see like a wrestling match, like a chick wrestling match in like a pool of spaghetti noodles.
Oh,
I could watch that.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, I think that's another thing we should put down on the list for the CG convention.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like bring your own forks.
Yeah.
The butt war in a pool of spaghetti.
Yes.
Boxing wrestling.
Who would wrestle though?
Fuck, I would.
She would. I could bring some cosplay girls I know.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we get Piper on it if we had a wolf costume.
Well, that'd be great. Oh, by the way, you should maybe show one of those trailers to this campaign as well. People will dig it.
Oh, the Kelsey Shannon trailer. Show that one.
Give me
That
one
was
The second
amazing.
one, right?
Yeah. We might have to play it a couple of times.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Alrighty. Is everyone prepared for this?
Let's see it. It looks good already.
Back through the woods today on Indiegogo.
All right, we'll
Concise.
do one more.
Back through the woods.
I just want to hear you on replay on the report.
Who is this now?
Oh yeah. And
Is
the
that
other
someone from
amazing
the
trailer
community?
was Red. What was that?
Is that someone from the community, or is that just some?
I have no clue. Kelsey just surprised me with it. I checked my DM. He's like, "Brother, I made this for you." I'm like, "What is it?"
That's
I click it. I was like, "Holy shit! This is going on my campaign."
It's like spot on. It's got the fireplace and everything. It's awesome.
Oh yeah,
The short shorts.
the best.
She just needs to. She needs to do a couple of more squats, though. I think.
Yeah.
Passion wants you two to wrestle in spaghetti.
Us
Yes, you and Brandon.
Yeah.
fight over the whoever wins gets the Magic Cup IP.
Yeah.
Kelsey is an old school genius. Of course he is. Wookie's Supremacy says, now that's the way to sell a book.
That's right.
You know it.
Hell yeah.
That's
And
why
the other
movie
amazing
days
trailer
get to work.
was Red. Yeah, Red gave me the main trailer, which has the whole story in it. So, yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, that's a
Yeah,
great one too.
was awesome.
Yeah, Red, I've been praising you everywhere I go
I appreciate that.
because you're worth it, man. Hail, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red.
A pleasure.
All right, so here's the deal. Back through the woods. Back Magic Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Hail.
I'll put these links in the chat as we go.
Magic Cop halfway done with chapter 4, so there's only 14 more pages until we're done doing the drawing.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Actually, the 15th page is halfway done already. So
Oh wow.
Yep. Route 10 Glory says subscribe to Kelsey's YouTube channel. Do that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You know what? I'll put that link in the description also.
Buy these.
ZAID Comics YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing to mine as well. My number shot up a lot recently, so yeah, thank you very much.
Cool, man. Yeah, it seems to be a trend.
Not for us.
Back these
Nice.
passion sketch cards, everybody.
Very cool.
There's only 3 left.
Hell yeah.
He's got candy in the background. It looks like there's like
Cool.
Willy
Oh,
Wonka.
do I see a swamp thing back there too?
Oh, hell yeah, man. I got all the Swamp Thing.
Yeah, Phil's a big Swamp Thing fan.
Oh, that's killer.
Didn't you ever see his giant Swamp Thing statue?
You got the sideshow one?
Hell yeah, brother.
No shit.
Yeah, let me
Wheel it out. Bring out the forklift.
That thing is massive.
get a better shot.
I have one statue that's huge. I know it's one that War Campaign would probably want. I have a giant Centurion from Assassin's Creed on top of a Medusa head.
Look
I
at this.
thought you were going to say a rainbow dildo.
No.
How tall is that thing? It's like 18 inches or something, right?
It's like 24 inches.
24 inches. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And the base
Oh,
is 35
yeah.
pounds.
I'm jelly.
It's how many pounds?
Yeah, it's not really 35 pounds. It's probably like, I don't know, 10
Like
to
10 pounds.
15 pounds.
He is huge.
Yeah, that is crazy.
The
Yeah,
base. And then the Swamp Thing guy weighs nothing.
Yeah, he's
They're crazy.
the Swamp Thing's PVC. That's why.
Oh wow.
But yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, that is a really beautiful piece. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for great statues and stuff.
Yeah, I had to hold off. The next one I'm getting is this badass Lobo one. He's on his space bike. It's from XM Studios.
Oh, is it the one where he's got his bulldog as well?
Yeah, he's throwing the dog.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you got good taste.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Passion.
Here he comes again. Ouch.
Man.
Shots fired.
This guy too.
Oh, very cool, man.
Marv from Sin City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil's a big statue guy.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rook.
that's how I get the ladies. That's how I tell them.
Yeah, man. Get some ladies in there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody. So I think we're about to wrap this up. We got Writing Comics in the chat. What's up, my friend? Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to watch that replay. But yeah, if you haven't already, check out Magic Cop and back it if it's to your liking. Same with Through the Woods, the collected edition.
Mm-hmm.
And sign up for the mailing list for Lost Pages. So in
Yes.
the chat as well. All this stuff's going to be in the description once the stream ends. And yeah, thanks everybody for stopping by. Thanks for the first super chats. Appreciate that. And yeah, definitely get behind all these creators. You know, Phil, Brandon, Vinny. They're doing great stuff, and we need to support them.
And don't forget about Red Gaze. He's got Sunsworn.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Yeah.
that, man.
Yeah, man, that's coming soon. Coming soon.
That's gonna be great.
What's Lola doing? You got comics coming out?
Oh, see, here's the thing about Lola. She has great ideas, but she doesn't want to move on them.
No.
So I think she needs a little encouragement.
Yeah, move.
Lola, if you decide to do your own comic book, I'll do the cover for you.
Oh my god.
I'll think about it.
Oh, Jesus. Think about it.
Shots fired at me. Okay.
Let's see if this works.
You'd be my first call for sure.
Fantastic.
We'll get a big kiddie pool filled with spaghetti for you if you do a comic.
Yes.
Come to the convention.
That's the comic idea right there. That's the cover.
No, I just like
Most
teaching you guys,
section
like I don't make content. I just, I like to come on and talk to you guys and hear your ideas and make sure, y'all get out there.
You're like
People
a
see
talk
your
show
stuff.
host.
Appreciate it.
She's like a rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, it's it comes around eventually. Everybody has some ideas, Everybody has things they've been thinking about doing for a long time. I never once thought I would step into this particular arena. I thought I'd just be doing YouTube and promoting, but it's kind of a natural evolution almost,
When the opportunity comes your way, and you have the idea, why not do it?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
basically how we got started.
Yeah. And now's the time, man. Comicsgate is the place. Like,
Yes.
you guys, we all know great artists that can make stuff happen. And that's what we're doing right now, It's great.
Yeah, and apparently Brandon has some free time.
I will have some free time later.
Not too much. We got to get him on Magic Cop 2.
I think Lola's going to get bit by the bug before she knows it.
Sure.
She will.
Mm-hmm.
Spaghetti bug.
I create in my own ways, dude.
Piscetti.
I create fantasies,
Bathing suits?
I'm kidding.
Fantasies, I think.
I create fantasies and babies.
Lordy. Well, on that note, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for dropping by. We'll put the links for all these books as well as these YouTube channels in the description, so be sure to check those out. Subscribe to these guys, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you very much. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.